Mike Owens here, and today I'm joined by Dakota Ditcheva, who returns to PFL on the 25th of November on their finale card. Dakota, always a pleasure to get your time. How are things with you today?
I'm really well, thank you. Thanks for speaking to me again.
The pleasure's all mine. We spoke first and foremost in London. Can you kind of give me
Yeah.
a bit of a walkthrough of your memories of that fight and what your emotions are after the victory?
Um, I couldn't really remember too much, to be honest. Straight after the fight, I was obviously really emotional, but it all happened so quick. Like I was in there for less than a round, literally like a minute. And I feel like the build up was just massive. Like, obviously my first time on a big stage, signing with PFL was massive. Being back home fighting for the first time in a few fights. Um, I think everything all together, the move to ATT beforehand, and yeah, just some personal things that I'd been going through. I think it was just a whole like whirlwind of stuff that made it so emotional. But I don't know. I don't remember too much of that whole process, to be honest, but I just enjoyed every minute of it, that's for sure.
I think I was lucky enough to be the first person to interview you post fight, and I think one of the things we talked
Yeah.
about was the strange nature of how it ended with the finish, seemingly. I don't want to say coming out of nowhere, but seemingly maybe your opponent falling a little bit more easily than expected. What were your emotions like in the cage when that happened? Because you seemed pretty confused.
Yeah, I was really confused because at first I thought she was trying to say like it was a low blow. Um, but I felt like where it sunk and it sunk right into her stomach. So I knew straight away like it was like, you know, hit in the right place. But then I couldn't. At first, I didn't know what the ref was doing. I didn't know whether he was stopping it, whether he was like giving a timeout. But then obviously I realised straight away then that the fight was over. It's not like in Thai boxing when I used to fight and you could get an 8 count. It's like it's done when the ref says it's done. So yeah, it was a bit of a blur. And she did put in like an appeal afterwards, didn't she? Like a week
Mm.
later, I got an email that I had to like respond to, like do my response to her claim that it was a low blow. So that was all like a bit crazy. So yeah, God knows
So,
what actually happened.
so at this point, I never knew that about your appeal, but is it fair to assume maybe
Mm.
your opponent thought, let's get an easy, quick victory by pretending we've been hit low? Do you think?
Yeah, well, I think at the time she stopped because it sunk straight in her stomach because she like made like a winded type sound. And then afterwards she was all like friendly and stuff. But then like I noticed on PFL's Instagram that loads of people from like where she's from were commenting saying it was a low shot, like all the troll accounts that you get
Mm.
commenting. So I don't know whether she wanted to like run with that a little bit and see whether she could like, I don't know, maybe get her side of the
Mm.
purse or something, like an extra bit of money. I don't know. But the video that I sent in my appeal was like clear as day. I posted it on my
Yeah.
Instagram as well, like exactly what happened. So she didn't get anywhere with that.
Well, nevertheless, you got through to 2023's PFL Europe season, and obviously you've got this fight on the 25th. Can you talk to
Yeah.
me a little bit about what you know about your opponent, Katherine Corogenes? What does she do well, in your opinion?
Yeah, I haven't seen too much on her, to be honest. She only got like one fight on there, I think, and there's like a few training videos and stuff. But obviously, I think she trains in Thailand, so she's high level jujitsu. So I'm just expecting like an all round good game, to be honest. But then again, I don't feel like she's got anything that can um that's going to trouble me. Like I don't feel like she's a better fighter than me. So I'm expecting to go in there and do what I always do.
100%. Are you, out of interest, are you a big tape watcher, or are you someone who likes to maybe put that to one side and let the coaches handle it?
Yeah, I'm not, like I might watch like the odd one round or two from a fight and that's it. Like I'll just leave my coaches to like um have a look themselves and stuff, but I don't really tend to watch the fights and study them. I feel like I do need to kind of start doing that like the higher level up, like the higher I get, but I've never been someone to like really fixate on what they're doing.
100%. Speaking of your coaches, we obviously need to talk about the move to ATT. First and foremost, I know
Yeah.
you get a lot of this subject, so I'll go a little bit of a different route. What was meeting a hero in Joanna and JJ like a couple of days ago?
Oh my God. It was like a real fangirl moment when she come in the gym. I was like, I knew she was coming a few days before. So I was like kind of pending it. And then when she turned up, I was just a bit like, oh my God. Like I was proper like I met like we have like a family group chat at home and I'm like messaging straight away as soon as I'd got a photo with her. I was like, look what just happened. Like I was so excited, bless her. And she got like she got a photo with me in training, which was really nice because, you know, I hate like you know, asking people for photos when like they're so high up. I always feel a bit awkward, but I was not missing that opportunity to go on with the champ. No way.
No one can blame you for getting a photo with you on it. Out of
No.
interest, you mentioned there about having a bit of a fangirl moment. Can you talk to me
Yeah.
about the most starstruck you ever felt when seeing another fighter? Is there someone that comes to mind in a similar vein?
I think it was Joanna. I think because I followed her for so many years, like she was my favorite fighter. Like I think it was definitely her the other day. But I think when I first come to ATT, it was like a really weird feeling for me for like training on the same mats as like Justin Poirier and Masvidal and like, you know, these girls that are in the UFC that I watch all the time. Like it was really strange for me to like actually be on the mat and training with them and partnering with them. Like it didn't really sink in straight away that I'm like their training partners now and I'm kind
Mm.
of on that level. Like it was really weird, but 100% Joanna was like the most starstruck I've ever been.
I
For
can well
sure.
imagine. Obviously, you've got the likes of Joanna in the gym. I think I saw you post a photo a couple of days ago after sparring. I think the likes of Karolina Kowalkiewicz, Marina Moroz were on there as well. It's the biggest benefit of training at ATT, just simply the bodies that you've got over there.
Yeah, definitely. And like I mean I train with the lads as well, but the amount of girls that are here is massive for me. Like I didn't realize how much of a difference it made training with girls until I came and did it. Like at home I was really happy and I thought, oh, I'm fine with the lads, like, you know, I'm never going to be like, you know, beating them up or like, you know, winning all the time. But like it was good for me. I felt like I had really good partners at home. But then when I trained with the girls, the way they move, the way they roll, like the way we spar with each other, it's just so different. And it was just like straight away a massive change in like my performance and like even mentally, like being able to like test myself against level that I know I'm going to be fighting was like a big confidence boost for me that I was kind of, you know, holding my own and being on that level with them.
Was there a reason that you sought out to change the change to ATT? Was there something that sparked that, or was it just circumstantial?
No, not at all. Like I didn't even plan to come over and like stick at ATT. It was like I wanted to come over to America to train with girls basically and like see my level. Like my coach at home, Carl Prince, he was like, you know, it'd be good for you to go over there and get some training and you know, he even said to me, you will surprise yourself when you go over there and you're actually better than a lot of them.
Mm.
So he's always believed in me. Like he's always said that, and he said like, you know, it'll be good for you to go over and boost your own confidence and know like that you are on this level and you are going to be fighting in the UFC and on PFL one day. Like, so I came over for 4 weeks and I did like a bit of a gym tour. So I went to like CSA in California, which was a gym I'd already always wanted to go to. Then I went to Syndicate in Vegas. And then I came to ATT for the last 2 weeks and ended up staying for the rest of my camp, which was like crazy. But I just really settled here. I was going through a lot at home as well. I felt a little bit lost. You know, fighters get like obviously depressed between camps and you know that
Mm.
time off when you've gone from like such high emotions to nothing. Like
Mm.
I struggle with that in between stage. So I felt really lost in what I was doing at home. Like I needed a bit of like a freshen up. So when I came over here and really settled, I didn't want to come home and finish off my last weeks of camp in the same headspace that I'd left in, if that
Mm.
makes sense.
I see.
I wanted to like finish camp and feel really strong and content in you know what I was doing in the training I was having, and then I just completely fell in love with everyone here. So that's kind of how it happened. So
You've
now I'm
just
like based over here, but I still have a team back at home and still with the Manchester top team there.
I want to talk about your setup at home. Obviously, as you mentioned,
Yeah,
Manchester top team. Shout out Carl Prince. But obviously, you come from
yeah,
a very storied fighting route. Obviously, with your mum's career, and obviously your brother Cody.
yeah,
Cody,
yeah.
memory serves.
So
Cody's
yeah,
obviously very involved. I think I saw an interview saying he'll be in your corner for the next fight.
yeah.
How important is the family unit in terms of your career, and how kind of vital is that to the structure of everything?
Yeah, it's massive for me. I think because I've always had it from literally like the age of 4 years old, the photos of when I first fought and stuff, and my mum being my coach throughout my whole Thai career, and then still being involved when I transitioned to MMA. Like it's it's a real comfort thing that I have to have, if that makes sense. Like coming to America was like stepping out of that comfort zone, knowing that I can do it on my own, but I will always want that like guidance and support from my mum and my brother as my coaches.
Yeah, 100%. I want to talk about something because I had a little bit of a look at the stats and I found a really interesting stat about you, because I can't find many
Yeah.
fighters who've had 6 fights in 6 different promotions. Your pro career, you've
Yeah.
never. This is the first fight where you're having a fight in the same promotion. Obviously, we've got the likes of UKFC, we've got Celtic Gladiator, we've got UAE Warriors. I'm struggling to name the other 2 apart from PFL, but there is 6 out of 6. Is there a benefit
Yeah.
moving across promotions, do you think, in terms of your career?
No, I don't know, to be honest. Like, obviously, I'm going to say each to your own, like, do what you want to do. But I feel like I've really learned along the way of what direction to go. Obviously, I started off in Thai boxing, so things are a lot different in that sport compared to MMA. So when I transitioned when I turned pro, I just didn't have enough experience of like what the best move was. And sometimes I think too much about like, you know, oh, do I do that? Do I do this? And it was kind of like me and my coach and my mom were kind of just going with the flow, like taking one fight at a time. Didn't want to tie myself down. Like I've obviously had my eyes set on a massive promotion like PFL or UFC for so long. But it was kind of like I wanted to build myself up, but then not tie myself in so that when the time's right, I can go. And luckily I didn't, because I fell on my feet with PFL and signed with like a promotion that I wanted to be with for so long. So that was kind of like why I was, you know, just fighting here, there, and everywhere. Was I didn't want to tie myself down. And then when PFL came, I felt like that was the right time. It was the first time that I really felt like, yeah, I want to sign this contract and I want to be stuck with these for, you know, a certain amount of time. And I have seen the benefits of it as well. Like I don't know whether I should have done it earlier or not, because I feel like they've really brought me up as a person and like built me up as, you know, obviously my followers have gone through the roof now, and like I've got a blue tick as well, which is crazy. So maybe I should have done that earlier, but then at the same time, everything happens for a reason. And you know, I felt like it's all happened at the right time, but there was never a specific like thought where I wanted to fight on all these different promotions. It was just I wanted to keep my options open. That's all.
100%. The PFL is kind of becoming a home for UK fighters in many ways. We've got obviously 2 Brits in the finals in Brendan and Stevie Ray. We've got yourself. We've got Simeon Powell. We've got Dominique Wooden's just signed with the promotion. Is this, in your opinion, going to become a great base for UK fighters to get onto that international level?
100%. I think that especially this PFL Europe that they're going to do now is just massive. I think it's really what we've been missing. Like there's so much talent in the UK and just in Europe in general that isn't broadcasted unless you sign with the UFC or, you know, you're with PFL at the top of the game, basically. I think this PFL Europe is just going to open them doors now for like, you know, the pros that have kind of are like 3-4 fights in, but have got serious talent. I mean, I was with Stevie Ray in London, and he was saying like the lads at his gym, you know, give him hard rounds and tough rounds, and then just not getting that, you know, getting picked up and that recognition that they need. So I feel like PFL are really going to build up some big athletes now, and we're going to get some big stars coming out of it for sure. It's massive what they're doing.
100%. Well, if we kind of talk about the poster girl, if you like, of PFL for the last couple of years, in Kayla Harrison, what I would like to do, Dakota, I would like to, on the same night that we first connected and we first spoke, I spoke with Kayla, and she gave me a very nice quote about you. I'd like to read about you. So we talked about you, and she said, "I'm excited to watch. I'm excited to watch Dakota build her own division and to be the next generation in women's MMA." What does that quote mean to you?
That's amazing. It feels like she like trusted me a little bit to, you know, to do that. But you know, it's so nice having somebody like Kayla so close to me that I can really look up to. I feel like I've had that in my mum in Thai boxing, and then now I've come over to ATT. I feel like she's really like an inspiration for me in MMA. Obviously, like her story is insane anyway, but she's such a great girl, and it's really nice again to be fighting on the card and see her like, you know, be so close to her during all her success. It's really nice. But I'm excited. I hope I can live up to what she's done with PFL and really bring, an exciting division to PFL now.
100%. No pressure, no pressure from the
I know.
two-time champion. Do you
I
guys
know.
train? Do you guys train together at all? I mean, I know there's a massive weight difference, but do you guys spend any time on the mats together at ATT?
Yeah, we're not partners, but we do same classes and stuff. Obviously she's a few weight categories above me. So when we're in camp, obviously injuries and stuff like that, we don't want to we have to be really careful. And her head coach is actually Mike Brown and mine's Conan. So we have our own timetables and Conan's worked out what I'm doing and who I work with, and hers is obviously worked out to suit her. So we train in a lot of the same classes and on the same mats next to each other, but just not as partners.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, Kayla has confirmed this will be her last PFL season, and obviously you're in 2023 being the Europe series. So in terms of the PFL regular season in 2023, who do you anticipate becoming the next star and the next face of PFL after Kayla leaves the seasons and before you get there, perhaps?
I don't know, do you know, because Kayla's just absolutely shone through out of everyone. I feel like it's going to be really hard now to pick someone, of her standard. That's why I feel like a lot of pressure for me as well. You've really got to live up to the boundaries that she's set now, because she's really done to win it 2-3 times on a row. It's just incredible, isn't it? So it's going to take a special person to live up to that, but we'll see what happens.
100%. Well, last one from me. We're getting towards the end of November 2022. Dakota, what are your goals for the next 12-month period? Where would you like to be come the end of November 2023?
I always say this, but 100% still unbeaten. Definitely. I just want to really make a statement next year. Obviously I'm contracted to 3 fights next year, so I want to make sure that each one is exciting as it can be, and you all get to see, a little bit of what I'm about when I'm in that cave. So fingers crossed you get to see a lot more of me.
So you've got 3 fights next year. So in an ideal world, we're talking 10-0 by the end of 2023.
Yeah, we are indeed. For sure, I will be 10-0.
100%. Well, thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure to reconnect. And if we don't speak before, then I wish you the best of luck come next Friday night.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much for having me on.
Pleasure's all mine. Before we finish, Dakota, how can people find you on social media? Any sponsors you'd like to plug? The floor is yours for the last word.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram, Dakota D, and I'm also on Facebook too. But I just want to shout out to Black Acid and Kettle Kings, and obviously Concordial as well, who look after me when I'm at home for all my treatments. But thank you so much. Without sponsors and everybody's support, this wouldn't be possible. So big shout out to them.
Make sure to subscribe to the LowKickMMA YouTube channel for all the latest news, event previews, and interviews with some of the biggest stars in MMA.